Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Element Events. Today we have a very special project for you. This is the Duos Arsenal Tournament. Again, the classes will be locked, so you can only pick one of each class for your duo. We've had some changes to the game, some changes to the meta, I should say. OSK, how do you feel today, and how do you feel about these changes we're going to see?
Man, I'm feeling amazing right now. It's been a long time. We've had a long string of toxicologist meta. We've had a long stream of it seemed like Stone Shaper meta. It was kind of meta, but also kind of not if you knew how to play around it. So I'm very interested to see what kind of moves Conduit is going to make in this tournament here, and also Pyro. Oddly enough, I didn't expect one little change from Ignite to be that big of a difference, but it really does make a huge difference on every aspect of Pyromancer gameplay. So I'm really interested to see just how many people are going to be willing to run it, and also how powerful it will be. Pyromancer is the number one surprise in my book.
I agree. Well, I'm excited to see how these players are going to be able to adjust, not just to the duos environment, but the class changes that you mentioned as well. We quickly want to bring up, we got some more supporters. We love all of you guys, and we want to just show it off, the little donation page, if we can pull that up just momentarily here. And we are going to be looking as well, not just at the donos, but the games coming up. But before we get into that, let's just show you guys what we got here. So thank you to everybody on this list for showing us your continued support financially and emotionally. We appreciate you guys for everything you've shown us here. But going back to the teams, going back to the event that we got on our table here today, I'm gonna have to give my favorite, my personal my guess on who's going to take it home is going to be Kamsky and Elpadog on their untiered squad. We saw the wreckage that they caused in our Trios Arsenal tournament that's been slightly postponed because of the changes to the game, but I do think that their duo's dominance is going to continue off of that wave. OSK, who do you think, or what are your favorites going into this?
Man, there's no diversity in this crowd. I'm picking untiered too. I think when you have someone as skilled and as talented as someone like Kamsky in your team, first of all, arguably the best competitive player to ever touch the game, and I'm saying that every week, and it still hasn't changed in my mind. And then you have Elpa, very solid player himself, um, kind of a kind of a pioneer of the common Stone Shaper meta too. Borsa was actually came after Elpa. Elpa was the one originally holding it down. So we have two very talented veterans on that team, and honestly, I think they have the best chance to win it. If I had to pick a just kind of a favorite, just because their team name, I like Big Wiggly Boys. That's gonna be my second. It's my humor pick. Let's put
Yeah,
it
not
that way.
only is the name good, I do actually think Spooks and Nah You're Bad are two very high level players. Not only is the name high tier, but I think their play will be high tier. Hopefully they can back up your prediction and maybe land themselves in that top three, maybe take home number one. A couple other teams I do want to shout out going into the event are teams like Marcus, aka Apostle, with Bastion LMAO. I think those two can actually make a big difference here coming in. I know Marcus has been practicing Conduit quite a bit, and due to the changes that we just talked about, the power level of Conduit as it stands, I think they could really make a run at it. And I mean, if we're going to talk about Conduit players, we have to mention Moktola and Black Labby. That is a duo
Absolutely.
coming into today, and I really want to get their name out before we get into the game. Anybody who's new to the events knows those names. I mean, anybody who's not new to the events knows those names, but those who are new will learn them soon enough. These two are killers, and hopefully we can see them take that toxicologist conduit duo into the top three placement.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking to see who's going to take advantage of that new patch that came in. Conduit has all sorts of damage now, and I'm just really looking to see who's excited to pull out the conduit, because in my opinion, it might be the new strongest class in this meta. It's got potential energy, gives you a nice +5 at max charge. Don't even need to hit anybody. You just spam over here to your right, and then all of a sudden you have 5 more maximum damage. It's crazy. And then you have the sorcery change as well with secondary strikes. Get 5 strikes, not even that much time between each strike, and it's great for locking down that last little in-game circle. So I would be very surprised if not a lot of people don't run that.
Yeah, well, I see we are just getting into game one right now,
Let's
so we're
go.
excited to bring it to you guys. Let's see if our predictions pay off, see if the classes that we're talking about show any type of diversity. I think we will see it. And nonetheless, let's get right into the game. So as we rotate around, this is duos. It is kind of a new competitive environment, OSK, compared to trios and solos. The first duos event we've run at Element for money. So it's going to be very exciting. We've had some scrims. I know you did a great job casting them last night, in fact. So maybe you've seen a bit of a taste. Maybe you kind of know what to expect, but I think we'll see a lot of fights to go for the very start of the duos. You've seen the kill feed right there. Marcus, a.k.a. Apostle,
not wasting
a very
any time. Not wasting any time at all. Marcus, a.k.a. Apostle, taking out Black Code 49. As soon as I can get that name, that loading screen is a wonderful thing. Here we have the Dark. This is another guy I'm looking forward to. Is the TheDarkBreakers. He has been absolutely amazing. He's on the squad with Majin as well, who just picked up a nice duo kill themselves. So definitely one to watch as well. And Majin last night, as you were talking about, was absolutely tearing up the scrim lobbies. I believe he won one at one point as well.
Well, nice to see SK out here putting in work as usual. They did a great job in our trios event as well, but now you see Moktola won with Hansa OTP, aka I want to say that's Black Labby, but the two of them rolling up to this fight. Now look at that conduit damage that we talked about as Moktola drops this Storm Surge. No actual damage comes down, 11 ticks, 10, 11, 12, and you see the power of the class as Hansa OTP pushes in to finish off the kill. Looks like he's trapped in the basement here. Moktola's going to go for the finish.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I am Ventus going down just barely, getting some good damage onto Moktola before he goes down. Him and Slammerox both getting exiled, so that's going to be the first squad wipe for Moktola and his teammate. As we get further in here, very, very quick start to the action though, OSK. Beardbuzz as well, picking up a double kill to wipe. So we're seeing a lot of destruction just to get it kicking here.
Yeah, for sure. And I would be surprised how many people don't know about that basement, but every one of these players in this lobby knows about it. It has a free epic chest in there, and you can actually use it to juke around your opponents pretty well. So unfortunately, it didn't work out well for them. All the people in our competitive lobby know about it, but if you're ever in a pub lobby, that could definitely be something to your advantage. Looks like we pick up a Shadow Step right here for the Hanzo OTP, aka Black Labby, and Moktola sitting with his in-game loot already, minus the boots.
Yeah, so this is definitely a deadly duo, though. We mentioned them just a little bit in the brief caster cam. We had to open it up. We see that they're kind of they're just moving within this one spot. They don't want to push out of this area. Maybe they're just waiting for the prey to come to them, sort of deal. You see Moktola is already leveled up with that fire and that lightning on higher rarities. The damage will be high, just needs a little bit better boots, maybe. Another thing we didn't actually talk about, OSK, was the runic fluency changes we saw. So the points required to run runic fluency has been dropped down by 1, while harmony has been increased by 1. I think we might see a bit of a shift in the meta from that 2-2-2 that we always talked about. I think there may be the new 2-2-2 coming out.
Well, I can tell you now that, in my opinion, runic fluency was always the better rune. It was always the better talent, rather. Harmony providing some good bonuses, but the damage reduction, not anything too spectacular, but that extra rune off of the runic fluency is absolutely huge. And also the rune cooldown as well. And with it being bumped down to 2 points, you would be a fool not to take it for that 2-2-2. Harmony, a little bit more of an investment. If you want to just W key straight into your stuns, you can do that. We see Unhelp not giving this man any help. Ooh. Looks like he just wants to burst him down one more time. The Featherfall coming in, but his health is very low with that recovery bailing him out. Can't quite find his target. There it is, and wind spam him down.
Yeah, that legendary wind really saving Unhelp there, just taking that damage to another level. Choco Boko swag goes down. Unfortunately, the name is definitely high tier, but the kill goes down. So that's going to be Ghost Ship and his teammate as well. 2 kills go to Unhelp as we see 22 people left in the lobby. That's going to be 11 duos total, so still a lot of action to go before we find a winner. King Ryzen takes down Cataran X. Another kill. So we've actually seen a constant streamline of fights in the duos. This is something I'm trying to pay attention to, as this is, as we mentioned, the first duos comp event in a long time. It's interesting to see. So Cataran X actually gets exiled. His teammate Mike Wazowski holds down the F key to finish as King Ryzen shows off the air shots there Moktola 1 getting disrupted by Mike Wazowski and King Ryzen. Nice damage and consistent output from the duo there to focus down the target. Moktola 1 is a big opponent to have down as you see King Ryzen gets jumped on. Hanzo OTP hits him with a 2-tap. King Ryzen is now into his bubble form as he hopes for Mike Wazowski to make a play around the cloud. You see that he's just going to follow Moktola's body, going to stick to that 1v1 and let them fight it out. Mike Wazowski, you see him take this Frost Sorcery. We don't know the depths of the action going on completely in there as Hanzo OTP looks to just take the res. Mike Wazowski spots him out, looks through Invis, takes the damage as well. They're trading evenly. Mike Wazowski's down to 1. And Hanzo OTP will clean up the fight, pick up Moktola with 20 seconds left. What a play from the duo that just keeps on being talked about in game 1 here.
Yeah, looks like Black Levy, aka Hanzo OTP. I don't know what he wants me to call him these days, but anyway, just picking up that absolutely beautiful exile, making great use of that new runic fluency like we just talked about, giving him the 2 shadow steps right there so he can use his outbreak more effectively with the toxic cloud itself there. And you can see he's also running Thirsty as opposed to Recovery. Maybe something to say about the duos format as opposed to solos.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent point, OSK. But before we can venture too deep into that meta discussion, it looks like DarkBreakers is getting into a fight of his own. Throwing it down here, looking like a little bit of the Windstone classic combination we always see out of DarkBreakers. He gets Shadow Stepped on, but still follows up the damage. 44 with the slam, and he gets the drop as well. Nice hit, taking out Syncade for the disrupt. And now he turns that corner. Look at him and Majin putting down the work. Syncade and his partner get the exile. That is going to be 4 for DarkBreakers on his own. His teammate, I don't believe Majin has secured one of the kills yet. I think he's only been on the assist. No harm, no foul, but DarkBreakers takes a shot to the dome. You see Majin is using that wall right in front of him as a bit of cover as DarkBreakers also peels back. They definitely want to get their way out of this fight. The lightning damage comes down. Conduit is just such a thorn in the side of these players as Majin and DarkBreakers definitely look to S-key out of this fight. I just want to say what a play from DarkBreakers and Majin and their ability to focus target down, taking down Syncade by just rolling up to him as he jumps in. Very, very well done from these two.
Yeah, and it's worth keeping in mind as well, Stone Shaper with its changes, you can't heal your shield past 20 armor. So there's no way he can keep spamming in the middle of that fight and considering himself safe. He needs to back off, get that big armor pot. It's actually worth something now. And just needs to kind of play it safe just a little bit for a second, then he can re-engage like he is now. Looks like looking for the kill, but not quite sure who to focus down quite yet.
Yeah, but this is beautiful. The way that they just push themselves back, letting them get that regen, get a little bit of, like you said, the Stone Shaper, hit the cap and move back in. Hitting a couple wind slaps, you see that this Toxic is just doing so much work on him, though, as he uses the cover of this ridge line. Nice positioning from both of these players as they look to focus down one target. This is exactly what we were talking about. Beautiful duo action, taking down Moktola 1, but Nasty Blizz rolls in for the third-party situation. Now Majin's going to have to try to make it work through 2 duos, but I just want to mention how clean that target focus was. Moktola 1 will get smacked down, probably going to get picked up considering the situation and how many third parties are rolling in. Majin is just hopefully going to be able to escape. Maybe we can roll out of this one, as I know that there must be another fight continuing. This is Majin breaking his way out. It does look like he got away. The beautiful new tree line skin helps Majin blend in to that with that green outfit into the grass, getting away a little bit as Blizz will hold down the F key and finish it onto DarkBreakers.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking to see how many tree strats come out of that tree line skin. It's beautifully blended in with its environment. And we saw from Elpa that you can hide in literally any tree. You can get in the pine tree. You can get in that beautiful little oak. You can pretty much just hide anywhere in this new skin. Actually pay to win. I'm a little bit upset.
Well, look at Shingy getting destroyed off the rip here. His teammate Blizz does finish the disrupt, but they actually rotate backwards. Nice work from Blizz. It looked like Shingy was the focused target from Treeline and Unhelp. He manages to keep himself moving, avoid enough damage for Blizz to get some time to do the work. Getting the double kill down. 11 people left in the game. Amazing round from Team Nasty here as another fight rolls up. Pay attention to the 51 damage from that Stone Slam and Focus Mana as Shingy looks to hit it again. Oh my goodness! Spooks just gets tapped down as Nasty Shingy 3 hits him. Spooks is now going to be stuck in the storm in orb form. OSK, I don't know how they're going to recover from this.
I don't know, but Shingy living up to his name with that nasty little angle on the stone gauntlet there. Very nicely done. And they're actually in a very good spot as well. All they need to do is just heal up right there. They see him coming out of the zone. His health is going to be a little bit lower. Just need to close in the distance and focus him down. Pretty easy to do for these competitive players, although Nasty Blitz barely getting out with just a little bit of damage there. And we see a conduit to the left side. They're hopping into probably a 3-duo situation right here. This is the time to back off the fight a little bit, maybe get a few heals, and then rotate back once you're nice and comfortable. But this is not something they want to take.
Yeah, but remember, so Know You're Bad just picked up a kill with the Toxic, but we did watch his teammate Spooks get knocked in the storm. So Know You're Bad is working on his own as we see Shingy take a 1v1 of his own as well. Throws down the boulder with the tornado, 36 damage lands, but the lightning pressure is too much as Kamsky will get the credit for the disrupt. Yeah, Shingy will have to just try to get back to his teammate as we rotate around this fight and find another angle. We see Kamsky, a legend in the community for his competitive play, coming out here once again with his teammate Elpadog for this Arsenal duos. He finishes off that exile thanks to his lightning. Notice that they have Conduit Frostborn as their duo setup, so they're looking to fight at range. Elpadog will start pushing up with the Alacrity just a little bit as Kamsky takes the Shadow Step directly up, throws down the Lightning Strike. Nice damage. Oh my goodness, look at Blitz get deleted as Kamsky looks to just secure yet another exile. Look at him just put it down. Spooks gets disrupted once again. And the damage output from Conduit on this new patch is extraordinarily high, OSK.
Yeah, this just goes to show that Conduit, even before the patch, was a force to be reckoned with someone with actual good tracking. And Kamsky just showing that it is still nasty, especially after the buffs. He's like, man, this is candy. I'm just going to take it. I'm going to eat it all up, and I'm going to shove it in your face. He's sitting very pretty with all of the shield potions as well. That's an interesting strategy, too. If you run thirsty, maybe go ahead and get all the big shield pots. It's not like you're going to be using health all that much.
Yeah, well, Kamsky actually, speaking of shield pots, he takes a shot to the chest, and he's going to need a couple shield pots to get it back here. This is 5 people left in the game, so according to my quick math, that is 2 duos and 1 single left in the game. Kamsky looks like he's venturing up to try to find maybe the single if he can. We're going to rotate around and you can check who's left in this fight. So it's Marcus, Bastion, Kamsky, Elpadog, and a solo. Marcus and Elpadog both running Frostborn, and Majin is the solo. So Majin is going to try to do some sneaky work to get SK extra points and maybe even clutch a W 1v5, 1v2, v2. I should say, as Bastion LMAO looks to just check over the corner with that Frost in his pocket. Both Marcus and Bastion have that Frost in their combat setup, so they're going to definitely also be looking to play at a distance. Majin actually gets exiled before the fight even goes, so there disappears the dream of the 1v2v2 OSK.
Yeah, and interesting enough, I would have thought that Conduit would be the most predominant class in these types of fights, but actually each team has one Frostborn, and Kamsky running the Conduit, Bastion running the Toxicologist. So Frostborn making a lot of appearances out here in this game as well. And this is actually the top 2 teams that I would have picked in this tournament as well. Marcus and Bastion LMAO absolutely tore it up in the scrims yesterday. And they are doing no different here. They made it to the last 2 duos, and they are in the middle of this fight.
Yeah, so look at Kamsky kind of weave his way backwards with that Conduit damage and the output. Blowing up the cloud to blow a DF as Bastion LMAO gets disrupted. Marcus will be in a 1v2 situation. Both players on UT are hell. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Before I can even finish the sentence, Kamsky finishes the round, hitting the air shot onto Marcus's kneecaps and kneecapping game 1. As you see Team Untiered taking the W. We're going to get into game 2 shortly, but before we do, let's run it back. That final circle situation where you see a castle wall and a cliff side. Both teams decide to converge onto the cliff, and Kamsky putting in the work right there. Let's talk quickly about the setup that they decided to run, Conduit and Frostborn. After what we talked about, I was expecting a lot of Conduit Pyro, but looks like Frostborn actually, surprisingly enough, was picked up.
Yeah, very surprising in my mind as well. Now I know it got the new buff to Alacrity, which everyone can use. That's no problem. But also to Ice Prism, which gives you that extra 35% damage on the full charge, cut down to half a second as opposed to a full second. So maybe they're looking to use that sort of thing a little more. I know these players can land their frost shots most of the time. It's interesting to see that they're going to pick that up over the other classes that offer similar damage for arguably a less amount of time, like pyromancer or toxicologist. It's interesting to say the least. Maybe they're looking to make some memes out here, making some clips.
Yeah, well, maybe, I mean,
Something.
maybe the perspective with not taking Pyro as much as we expected is, you know, Pyro kind of loses its control. I know it has a ton of AoE damage, but when you get into those really tight circles, it can almost be a hindrance if you have a Pyro on your team who's throwing out massive combusts everywhere. Whereas with Frostborn Lightning, you can do a lot of focus damage, and you can pick your target and really just take it one by one onto a fight. Pyro is more of a deal your AoE and get in and out. So it's interesting to see, nonetheless, the success of both teams running the Frostborn, ending up in that 2v2 situation. So Duos also has proven to be very action-packed at the start. It's more so than I expected as well, OSK. There was fights ranging from the very beginning to the end with no mid-game lull. I don't know if that's just
Yeah.
because people are excited to be out here or if it's a difference in duos, but nonetheless, it's cool to see.
Yeah, I would like to think that people are excited for duos. We haven't had duos for over 7 months. It's absolutely crazy. We finally get it. The 2v2 action. Find yourself a partner. Get out there with your duo instead of just going into this cluster that we know as squads. It's such a nice breath of fresh air, and in my opinion, the most competitive of the three modes.
Yeah, well, it's definitely exciting to watch. Going back to the game really quickly, I wanted to talk about Team Nasty. They had such an exciting performance. I did not expect them to pop off that hard in the game one. That is definitely going to be a team to watch. We're just waiting for scores to update so we can see exactly how they placed compared to everybody else. But I was excited to see them come in with that type of pace into game one. And we'll see if that can continue. Remember that the worst game that your duos play will be erased. So only 5 games are counted. So if you can keep up consistently high scored performance, maybe drop 1 game here or there, you will still place yourself well. It's going to be exciting to see Nasty continue it. I want to see more from Moktola and players of that caliber. We have a lot of very skilled conduit players in a very conduit heavy patch. So it's exciting to see as we continue to take this one out here. That final circle was one of my favorites I've seen in a while, though. I got a little bit excited when you see 2 very even high grounds. It's always a cool fight to see them converge in that situation.
Yeah, definitely. And interesting enough, no stone shapers to be found in that last little circle. So that little valley actually leaves a lot of avenues for the sort of routes you want to take to rotate. It also just kind of gives you just a little bit more freedom as opposed to, like, if you're on the ground versus a stone shaper, you're pretty much lost from the get-go. But nothing like that here. A lot more movement involved, and that's the kind of exciting gameplay that I'd like to see. Now, Moktola, in my opinion, got the short end of the stick in that match. He's running a conduit Chronomaster build, which, in my opinion, is one of the more exciting things that you can do. You just pop your Chronomaster and W key into your opponent, and boom, you got your 80 shields and your 40 health back. So I really want that strategy to work. I don't know if it will, but I'm excited to see the results.
Yeah, I don't know about the whole chrono in this type of competitive environment. I think it's really, really hard to pull off. I think it's something that's super niche and situational because if you even slip up once, you chrono maybe a second too early, you're literally just popping yourself back out to possibly, 2 or 3 competitive players that are just going to focus you down. So it's definitely a situational rune, but when it works out, you get those hilarious highlight plays that we're hoping to see out here. Moktola definitely a strong conduit player as we continue to reference. So maybe he can pull it out and make it work. I'm surprised to not see as much Toxicologist as well. I was expecting Toxicologist, Conduit, and Conduit Pyro to be the dominant classes here, but it looks like everybody's moved on from their old love of Toxicologist. Tempest also received a buff, but I didn't expect it to see it very much out here. I know Conduit absolutely dumpsters what Tempest is trying to do. So it's kind of a counterintuitive, change to what's been considered as the meta for these events, but still fun to see the switch up.
Even before the buff, it was dumpstering Tempest, and with how strong it is now in general, it would be very hard pressed to find any Tempest willing to weather the storm that is Conduit. We're gonna get into this match here pretty quickly. Now, in terms of game 2, what kind of duos are you looking out for to maybe make themselves known in game 2 as opposed to that game 1?
Well, definitely Nasty. Team Nasty is somebody to watch out for. Somebody I maybe didn't expect to watch out for as much, but looking at their game 1 performance, I definitely want to see more from them. You know, Kamsky Elpadog, always somebody to watch. That is generally where the camera tends to gravitate towards because of their high kill, high skill gameplay. But Moktola and Black Labby is somebody I'm going to continuously mention, and I hope they don't embarrass me, but they are some high skill players, and I definitely think you always have to keep an eye on those two when they team up as they come into this game 2.
I don't know, plays. I wouldn't worry about them embarrassing you. They were embarrassing me last night whenever I was doing these cats and scrims. We have Hanzo OTP landing in Bogmore with nobody around. This is one of the higher concentrations of loot in the game, and nobody is around to contest them. They're going to have just a nice little treasure trove of whatever they want. They already have epic gear as well. Those epic belts are huge. And now Hanzo OTP picking up that beautiful blue boots. He's an athletic man, run faster, jump higher. Love to see it. He's running that toxicologist just like last match. He'll be sitting very pretty. Syncade squad already getting the duo started.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, ASDA and that Omega sign, that is actually Doc. So it is Syncade and Fake Doc from previous events. They are making up that duo. As we see, we're going to rotate around and try to find the results of that fight. Here is Doc himself as the loading screen dissipates. So it looks like he didn't even have very high-level loot. They just took the fight regardless, secured themselves whatever they could. Dustpool never being something too high in loot, in my opinion, but they do pick the fight. They get a couple extra scorecards and the lightning, so nice combination. No conduit for these two, though, OSK. I feel like that's going to be the talking point of the day. Maybe somebody can get an active counter on how many times we say the word conduit, but nonetheless, these two have decided not to run the forbidden class.
I am a conduit for the class conduit. Okay, it goes through me, and I would imagine that Fake Doc is just using that lightning as a placeholder. It's not the strongest offhand gauntlet, so he'll probably be looking to pick something up. Interesting enough, Unhelped is braving the conduit storm, and he is running Tempest himself. Something I didn't notice until just now. What are your thoughts on that?
I did see him running the Tempest last game. He had the golden wind when he was spamming down those opponents. So interesting to see. Yeah, so they got the Toxicologist Tempest combination. I think it's interesting, and I don't think it's very effective, though. I think they're going to run into a lot of trouble as you get further into the circles. Both classes are going to take a huge beating from Conduit at a range. So they're going to have to try to find some sort of strategy to break the distance as quickly as possible. Maybe that's why they both are running the Shadow Step in the pocket. But regardless, we see Elpadog taking a kill of his own as we bounce over and try to find the actual action itself. Kamsky and Elpadog just going to be a continuous force in these events every time they enter.
Absolutely, and we see them in the middle of it right here. Elpa going to go ahead and seal out that Exile along with Kamsky. Looks like they just got done cleaning up that duo. I can't tell if they're in the middle of another fight. It looks like Elpa is just traveling with his alacrity. Looks like they are sitting pretty with 2 exiles for their duo.
Yeah, it looks like they just cleaned up the kills on Beardbuzz and Zombie Gnome and are going to be able to rotate out without too much trouble. Kamsky does take the Conduit Chrono build you were talking about, so maybe it's a little bit more effective than I was thinking. Seeing a player like that running it, you know that it must do enough damage for him to be satisfied, as he's such an aggressive type of mechanical player, and we're looking for more fights. These duos seem to never end with the action. Bastion, LMAO, and Marcus, aka Apostle, taking a fight. Bastion's Shadow Step comes off cooldown as he takes the SD
that
backwards.
Ignite.
Marcus is very low. The Ignite, like you mentioned, going to be burning him down. Bastion gets his own little taste of the flames as he rotates out. He's in huge trouble.
Oh, no.
As I Am X Ventus finishes it off. Marcus may have to leave his teammate B as he rotates out on the Alacrity. Bastion LMAO is just going to orb walk his way over to his teammate, but it's going to be the end of his party as his opponents are just clear as the sky to walk it out. No problems with I Am X Ventus finishing that one off right there.
And I think that's a prime example of why we're seeing nobody run Toxicologist, because that Ignite is so nasty. It keeps you out of invis. You can't pop a potion while you're doing it. Kamsky finishing off Mosey right there. Beautiful stuff from him. Too bad we got the ending part of that fight, but Kamsky always with the quick exiles.
Yeah, it looks like
we're in the middle of another one.
Kamsky and Elperdog have just been rotating on the side, just picking off fights everywhere as they get into another one. Kamsky dropping the lightning, huge consistent damage coming out. Nice aim from Kamsky as he drops the conduit chrono. Gonna zoom back in time, back to the future style, as he drops a little bit more damage onto his opponent, but he's still full tick. So now Elperdog and Kamsky are gonna have to slide all the way out of this fight. Only HP pots in the pocket of Kamsky as his teammate rounds the corner. And look at the opponent as Kamsky drops a beautiful lightning surge with some follow-up. And now he's got to see if he can work his way out. Chrono is now off cooldown, so he can try to do something with that. But again, Chrono in the storm is something you don't want to see. Makes your movement way harder to utilize as you try to get your way out of this consistent damage. But it does look like Elperdog and Kamsky are going to survive, so lucky enough for them, they managed to walk it out.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. And Kamsky actually making the Chrono Master strat work. Looks like he's been playing those bean battles that we keep hearing about. He's got that tracking down, so he's sitting very pretty. Now we're looking for some action here for you guys. Hopefully we can find something good. Let's see, we have the Nasty squad. We have Nasty duo right here. Looks like they're sitting pretty themselves. Nothing really doing. The synchronized pot drink, though.
Yeah, that was
beautiful
clean.
To watch. Can we get that again, Team Nasty? Looks
that
like they have
clean.
people right behind them. I think Nasty Blitz just spotted them. Looks like they were just fleeing a fight, and they're about to get back into one right now. They have a third-party opportunity, so hopefully they can take real big advantage of this with the Toxicologist and Stone Shaper. Not exactly meta classes anymore, but they are looking to lock it down, and they've been doing a good job since game one. Nasty Shingy looking like he's in a bit of trouble. Hopefully Blitz can avoid that third party behind him and help out his teammate.
Yeah, so Blitz is definitely going to try to come in and save his buddy, but it looks like they're getting pinched from two different angles. This is where you see decision-making coming from the squad. Let's see what they try to do here. They can either rotate out of this completely, work backwards towards that other fight for the third party, or try to rotate to the other fight in front of them. You see a massive wave of kills as Doc, Hayato, Hanzo OTP, and Elperdog all trade. So Kamsky is the one who finishes off Hayato's life. That's going to be the end of their squad in general. As Know You're Bad gets jumped on, Spooks is going to try to help him out. As Nasty Blitz actually gets turned on by Nah You're Bad. Nice play from the Toxicologist right there. As Spooks is going to look to clean this up. The Shadow Step comes off cooldown as you see him rotate upwards. Slides over, has the Toxic in his pocket. Tries to get it off here. Throws down the lightning. Look at the damage.
Beautiful
oh my
stuff.
Goodness, that is just insane as Shingy gets melted by Spooks' lightning toxic combination. I was not expecting that amount of damage in such a short burst. I know I need to adjust for this new conduit and get used to it, but that is just a crazy amount of consistent damage as Spooks and Know Your Bad are almost full health once again and looking for the third party situation.
And you're seeing that the power of Thirsty coming in for this duo's environment. You get the 50% heal just AoE from everything that you drink as a Thirsty player. So very good strat for them indeed. And again, just great mechanics. They're picking off their opponents pretty well. Conduit, you need that expert tracking, and they're making great use of it. Here he goes again, round two, doesn't quite get it that time. Now that Frostborn is going to be looking to hit him from the left side, I would believe. He needs to be very careful about approaching right here. But he's doing a pretty good job, realizing that he has some loot. He's going to be just fine. Now Marcus, on the other hand, is about to stumble on them right now. No Bastion to back him up, but he has a Bastion of his own. Sees it to the left, and he is going to be looking for this beautiful little shot. Can he hit it? He does. 63, that's all the armor that he had just about. And he's going to be looking to circle around. He knows that he is one person. Sets up the block there. Very nice. Definitely not a fight you want to take if you're one person against two. Even if you're the best player in the world, two people make all the difference in this sort of thing.
Yeah, well, Marcus actually moving so nicely there, taking the 63 damage shot and just backing off. Remember that every shot you take, every damage point you inflict goes towards your final scorecard. So Marcus actually just giving himself a couple little bit more points on top of everything else that he's accomplished so far. I Am X Ventus goes down to Know You're Bad as it looks like his teammate Slammerox is getting chased by the same culprit. Flight Rune comes out, but Conduit is so strong against the Flight Rune itself. You see a bit of damage, but Slamarocks should actually be okay to get away with this one. His rune cooldown is on about 4 seconds, but the shockwave will be even shorter, so he will be able to double stack and just get out of dodge. Look at the Flight Rune. He's going to pop himself out as we move around and try to find a couple more fights. 12 people left in the game. I know a couple of those are mixed up into solos, but we have about 4 duos left, with remaining solos who had their teammates already assassinated. One team that still is intact is Fake Doc and Syncade V2, who you're looking at right here. Frostborn Toxicologist, we talked about it at the start. Ooh, Fake Doc, a little bit of saucy shots over the cliff, hitting a banger as we move forward here. Syncade and Doc actually don't want to push too far forward, though. Nice dodges coming out from Asta Omega. Don't know why the name change came out like that, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen, as Fake Doc takes a couple more pot shots, trying to relive that last snipe that he hit. But this is some weird positioning. I don't know if I agree with Syncade being so far pushed with his teammates so far in the back line. Oh my god!
Who needs positioning when he can hit shots like that? And Syncade gonna follow him up. Unfortunately gets DF'd with all of his armor down. Fake Doc needs to go ahead and rotate right here, back his friend up. And he is down. Syncade actually doesn't survive that, but he nice little trade with Untiered. Now it is just Kamsky versus Asta Omega. We're going to have to see if he's going for the res or potentially for the thirst. He looks like he went for the res. That is going to be absolutely huge because Elpa is going to get that free heal off, and Doc can't cover his teammate for the res. That is an absolutely awful trade from them. Oh, you hate to see it.
And we were just talking about just talking about positioning and how this might be too far of a push forward. Whoa! Look at that exile trick.
We got Chrono Master strat.
New mechanic, new tech alert. Kamsky always whipping out those new mechanics, and he shows it off there with the conduit res. But as we were saying, Syncade was a little bit too far pushed up on the Toxicologist, and he ends up getting 2v1'd by the deadly squad of Kamsky and Elpadog. Now we see the results as there's 8 people left in the game. Darkbreakers does get picked up by Majin as he rotates forward. This is going to really be a hard circle for the Stone Shaper. Look at all the different ledges that block his perspective, as Majin, his teammate, is going to have to do a lot of the back work as we get into these final fights.
Yeah, and I want to point out, Darkbreakers has 3 exiles to his name right here. And we talk a lot about placement in these things, but exile points add up very quickly. So even if you don't get first place every time, just the sheer amount of exiles you can get in a match do a lot of work for you. And Darkbreaker is running a focused mana sort of build as opposed to the runic fluency, what we normally see. He's missing 1 talent point. I hope that's worth it for him. That legendary stone is going to do a whole bunch of damage for him. But personally, I would prefer the movement. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would prefer the movement, but it looks like Darkbreakers is always known for going outside of the box with his builds, and here comes another one that seems to have bringing him a lot of success today.
He needs
3 exiles already onto him, but yeah, the damage comes down. 1 more tick to finish this kill as Marcus gets exiled. Nice slam dunk from the Darkbreakers with the boulder, as we see 7 people left in the game. That is another solo who had no teammate wiped out.
It's a bad decision. You need to get inside that zone. It's ticking so hard. No, Darkbreakers, don't do it!
Oh my goodness! Kamsky with the damage on Conduit. He melts down his opponent. Look at the Kovacs aim trainer as Kamsky just deals the deeps. Elpadog trying to take some shots from the corner as well. Kamsky now going to push up directly with the lightning fire combination. Has tons of armor in his pockets as well as on his body. Gets a couple toxic shots from his opponent as he rolls up. You see that Moktola 1 gets exiled, who is also a solo, as 4 people are remaining in the game. More kills as Hanzo and Moktola do get finished off. We have a 2v2 between Kamsky and Elpadog and the SilentKill boys. Majin and Darkbreakers in the 2v2. Let's see veterans versus the new up-and-comers, OSK, as we get into it. The Conduit Chrono gets dropped by Kamsky. Cooldown doesn't get utilized, but Darkbreakers gets popped, as we see Majin, his teammate, trying to work his way back in. This is the back end that we were talking about. It's a tough situation to fight from, as Elpadog just pops off on the top with the Frostborn. This is a different perspective as we see the final kill from Untiered. That is 2 games in a row from UT taking the W. This has just been a dominant performance from start to finish so far. I mean, it hasn't finished yet, but as we see, Team UT is not to be messed with, OSK.
No, absolutely not. And I think what you just saw there is a perfect prime example of superior positioning. Now, Elpo with his positioning right there, he knows that in order for his opponent to reach him up there, he's going to have to basically burn through all of his mana, leaving no room for attack and also not able to really do anything for a full second almost. So as long as he stays up there, he can land his frost shots. He's running the Frostborn. He's holding it down, and he can also just land some toxic slaps from up there as well. That's just one of those things that you have to think about on this final circle. It's not just about your mechanics that are very important, but also your macro play with the superior positioning. Very well done by UT, proving that they have both.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is a lot about your macro, but when it comes down to those 1v1 situations, as I watch on the delay just a little bit here, the macro is important to set yourself up for success. You see the positioning and the way that they were able to play that fight slow from front to back. But when it comes down to the situations you put yourself in, your micro mechanics are going to be the ones that shine through. You can see Elpadog was able to take the one-on-one with Majin without needing help from his teammate. Kamsky also taking the 1v1. Both players just finishing off their respective opponents to win the game on that 2v2 in the final situation. It's an exciting thing to watch that develop. You can kind of tell when the other duo was in trouble. You see Kamsky and Elpadog have full HP, full armor pots in their pockets and high ground. That is just a checklist on how to take a W at the end of a game right there. And we're hopefully going to see more of that type of action into Game 3. Team Nasty, as we were hyping them up coming into Game 2, they didn't have as big of a pop-off as they did in Game 1, but I'm expecting some more action out of them. I've been very impressed with them coming into this game.
Yeah, for sure. They're definitely holding their own in this kind of tournament. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to surpass Untiered. It looks like they have a pretty good lockdown so far, 2 games into the 6-game qualifier, but hopefully they can make themselves known just a little bit louder. And I would like to see the Apostles sort of break out of their shell as well. We saw them get second place in the first game. I think they got third place in this last match, is either third or fourth. I couldn't tell, but I'm looking for some big plays for them as we're heading into Game 3, dropping right in for you gentlemen. Let's see who's going to come out on top.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's exciting to see this keep progressing. It seems like UT has always just managed to stay consistent, but the teams that are fighting for those other podium placements continue to shift as we go through it. We saw, as you said, Marcus managing to work his way into third, even though he was in solo, either third or fourth. I'm going to have to double check on that. But nonetheless, still a very good performance. Hopefully the duo themselves can pop off a little bit harder as we get into the game.
Now let's see what we have here. We have a website. Let's get off of that one. Next player. There we go. That's better. We have a few PS4 players out here caught in the crossfire here. Unfortunate. And here we have King Ryzen as opposed to King Kaizen. By the way, holding down the Instagram and the Twitter accounts. Go give both of those a follow. Again, curated by King Kaizen. We have Mike Wazowski flying in for some action. Doesn't see any. Hopefully he can get some free loot off. It doesn't seem like there's anyone near him, so he'll be sitting pretty here. Needs to find himself a belt, among other things. Now we're going to find some action here. We see Know You're Bad, Mr. Dan out here, taking out 2 of our contestants, Slamerox and I'm Ex Ventus. Going to fall to Know You're Bad.
Yeah, great start for the 2 of them right here. Getting a double exile at about 25 seconds into the match is probably one of the most ideal things you can pull off. Spook's getting some good loot. Know You're Bad with the purple belt, so they're definitely in a good position to carry this momentum. Something I do love about Spellbreak, and especially duos and squads, is the snowball effect you can have. Once you pick up a couple early kills and you pick up some really good loot, you can really have confidence to just W key into different situations and continue to build on the score that you've already built up for yourself. King Ryzen moving through with his teammate as we saw earlier, but here is the stars of the show. Elpadog and Kamsky 2-0 so far, haven't lost a game as we get into Game 3. So let's see if they can continue their dominant streak here. 30 people left in the game. Definitely Kamsky needs an upgrade on the belt, but Elpadog himself is already looted up to the teeth right now.
Yeah, for sure. And Kamsky just looking for any sort of fight he can get. He knows that the best loot often comes off of other players, so that might be part of a strategy here. Maybe one of the only ones that can successfully do it in a competitive lobby like this one. That's also something to note. Now that's actually something that even comes back from the start of Battle Royale days. You know that you're gonna find some good loot if you land in a nice populated area, have a lot of sources of loot, but also your best loot is gonna come from the exile of other players.
Yeah.
So Gamesky and Elp are really looking to push that aggression. Hopefully it works out for them with no third-party situations.
Yeah, so as we were talking about earlier, Spooks and Know Your Bad opting for the Conduit Toxicologist combination. Looks like this is way more popular than I initially anticipated. I guess the Toxicologist provides a nice contrast with the range and consistent damage of Conduit. Toxicologist obviously giving you that burst and potential to finish off a kill. As we see Spooks and Know Your Bad get thrown down on a little bit. A cloud comes down, but Know Your Bad actually avoids all initial damage. Well played. He's definitely calling on Spooks to come back and help him. As he says, maybe I don't need help. Pops a shot into his opponent's torso through the trees. You see him aim a couple, just barely missing some crucial shots. As Darkbreaker gets a kill onto Honest Gamer Guy. And Know Your Bad continues the wreckage, sniping some shots. Ooh, right through the window right there. Nice little bit of work as he's going to get collapsed on by another squad. So Spooks and Know Your Bad have to be super, super, super careful about how they approach this upcoming fight. Remember that there's still 30 people in the lobby. So this is probably the biggest we've had it so far coming this late. You can expect 4 parties, 5 parties, and 6 parties coming into these fights as we continue. Know Your Bad doesn't have Harmony, so he takes the CC, tries to flick over the top, and he gets bursted. No. The Ignite just so noticeable as he gets burned down. Know Your Bad takes a quick cover behind the tree, using a little bit of shade, but the Frost doesn't care. Sniping him through the head. Yeah, he's going to be going down here most likely. 11 HP. Thankfully, Thirsty allows him to slam those potions in about a millisecond as Know Your Bad...
Oh, you hate to see it. No. Everything bad is happening for Know Your Bad. The BM name King BM'd himself. Oh no, that is such a tragedy. Such a tragedy.
That is so unlucky. As you said, it looked like he was just popping off to start the fight, but a series of unfortunate events takes Know Your Bad down to the depths. As it looks like Hanzo, OTP, aka Block Lobby, and Moktola 1 just continue to get some consistent placements here. I wanted to see more from them in terms of total exiles. I know Moktola 1 is a position-heavy player, but he can really have some insanely high scorecards as we see the both of them rotate even farther.
Yeah, something to note here as well. Know Your Bad actually isn't exiled quite yet, so he still has a chance if his friend can go ahead and rotate around. That might be his orb to the left there. You can see to the left of Hanzo OTP, so it looks like they have it locked down pretty well. His opponent, if he is to make the save right here, has his word absolutely cut out for him. Maybe while they're distracted right here, he can make a quick sweep. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible with a squad like this one, the Hanzo OTP. As we know, Hanzo, the most overpowered one in Overwatch. That's sarcasm. But anyway, Moktola landing, was that 28s that I saw?
I don't want to believe it with my own eyes.
What is going on? That's got to be a spectator bug. Please tell me it's a spectator bug. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so something to keep in mind for chat, what OSK is referring to when he says spectator bug, sometimes the spectator client actually shows damage scores that are higher than the true damage that is being dealt. But the thing about current Conduit is I don't even know if that's a spectator bug. I think it is because 28 damage per tick is absolutely inhumane. Moktola 1 doesn't have any damage mods, so I do believe that that was a spectator bug because 28 damage also would have killed that target way faster. So, ladies and gentlemen at home, please relax. Don't worry, that is just a spectator bug as we continue through. So, Moktola 1 gets stuck on the side of the rock as Hanzo OTP just gets burned. Kamsky is the one credited with the kill as Moktola tries to avenge his teammate, but he's also on the receiving end of some slaps. Kamsky finishes off the duo, but we can't forget the work that Elbadog put in there. So, the two of them secure yet another wipe on another veteran squad. 19 people left in the game, so still a ton of fights to be had as we see this duo continue their domination.
Man, I don't know what people can do against Kamsky. I mean, it's all a matter of positioning, it seems like. If you're out in the middle of that field against Kamsky, you're going to get gunned down by his superior tracking and conduit now supporting that. So I don't know how you would get around it. Maybe you outburst him with some Stone Shaper. Maybe you kind of get a cheeky outbreak slap on him. I don't think he's gone down once so far. I don't know what people can do against him.
Yeah, I don't know if either of those duos have gone down, so that is definitely a good record to have. Maybe we keep track of that, because that would just signify one of the most dominant performances from a duo. As Majin and Darkbreakers rotate out of this fight, well played from the two of them. I am just continuously impressed by these two and their team in general. SilentKill, aka SK, has just been continuously improving every single event and scrim. And look at them here, really showing off their improvement as they continue to roll through the lobby. Majin and Darkbreakers killing Raider Chaos and Gator Bait. Going down here, looks like Majin might be in a little bit of a tense situation. He knows he has enough HP to get through the storm, so he's just chilling, trying to make sure he's okay to maybe find a couple more scraps before he goes through. But King Ryzen, in the meantime, gets disrupted by UT Elpadog. UT continues to play aggressive. One of my favorite things about their team and their duo and their trios, whenever they get together, is they always play aggressive. They don't change their game style. Even if they've won the first two games, that doesn't mean they're going to start playing safe to try to continue that streak. They are literally just sticking to the script. When they were playing trios with T-Foul, so it was this duo plus T-Foul, it was the same story. They all rely on their mechanics and they try to play as fast as they can through each fight until it's necessary to slow down the pace. And we see that Elpadog taking that Frostborn, performing well with it, as we see Nasty as well rotating the map. 13 people left though, OSK. It got very thin very quickly.
Yeah, I think it's just a testament to how great these players are. We know that the time to kill has been lowered just a little bit from this last patch, but these players are absolutely taking advantage of that. I mean, they focus down their targets pretty quickly. It's you already die fast enough from one opponent, and now you have two focused on you. That's tough to deal with, especially with the new pyro changes, with the new conduit changes, and Frostborn getting more burst damage overall. It's absolutely insane, and we see Nasty just getting bursted down. His shield is gone in literally half a second. That's insane. That this might be Kamsky and Elpa right here, actually. I'm not quite sure, but it's looking pretty familiar.
Oh my goodness! I thought for sure that Nasty Blitz had the jump, but Elpadog just showing off his mechanics, flicking around, dealing a quick burst damage, saying, yo, Kamsky, I need some assistance, so that both of them take down Blizz, and it looks like they'll be able to secure the double kill as we see them finish it through. SK also rotating towards what looks like Marcus and his squad, and we are about to have it pop off here. The powder keg has been building up, OSK, and it's about to explode. 11 people as the circle continues to shrink. We're about to see that tier 4 circle get down to it. Doesn't seem to shrink too much as Kamsky and Elpadog just rotate through. They might just decide to post up on this set of rocks as their position. They see another fight. Oh, this could be so juicy for the two of them as Kamsky shows off his aim with Conduit, dropping some 12 ticks across the face, shadow stepping himself directly up, trying to track as he goes through it. Runic Fluency comes off, he accidentally shocks his teammate, unfortunately enough, but
they need to capitalize on that mistake.
Aim right there.
They need to absolutely rotate in right now. That's a big mistake by them. Elpa's about to go down himself. They need to burst him down very quickly. That's the only chance that they're going to have in this kind of fight, but it doesn't work. Bastion Lamau going down. Just punched into the mouth himself, and now Marcus is next. It's his next target, but Darkbreakers cleans it up for him. So that's a third party onto him right here, and Kamsky securing the beautiful damage. Oh my goodness, that is so unfortunate. They get by Elpa living by the skin of his teeth.
Oh my god, that was so insane. Did you see the amount of HP that Elpadog regenerated because of his scavenger perk? He was actually on the row of death, but the XL came down and brought him right back to full HP, essentially. 9 people left in the game here as you see UT, Elpadog, and Kamsky keep on sliding. The damage is so consistent from these two as they roll through. Majin and Darkbreaker still notable duos left in this game. You see that Shadow Steps off cooldown, no Runic Fluency for Majin, so he's only going to have the one usage. The tracking will be off for him, though, as you see a little bit of a Vanishing Mist come out. Majin breaks through the bottom side, getting into the terrain and engaging himself in that beautiful tree-lined skin. Throwing down a little bit of Toxic. Nice play. Nice heads-up play from Majin right there to know exactly.
Too. Offhand lightning coming in. And he actually disrupts Jason 41K2. Very nicely done by the Dark. Looks like he's just want to rotate on his last little opponent right here. Majin, perfect opportunity for the outbreak. Another one misses. Just one tick. That's all it takes. Just one tick with that offhand lightning, a little toxic slap,
Nice.
and Darkbreakers taking out the website.
So
Beautiful
5
stuff.
people left in game 3 here. We see that the duos are going to be Kamsky, Elpadog, Darkbreakers Majin, and a solo. So we see yet again SK versus UT to end the game. The solo is going to be Spooks, by the way. So this is a conduit on his own. Spooks might be able to make a huge play here, actually. The duos have engaged in a full fight now, and Spooks is just chilling on the top side, popping off that lightning damage. So Darkbreakers takes down Kamsky with a disrupt. Quickly, can we move? Can we cycle the camera? I'd love to see the other angle as we see Kamsky actually getting exiled now. Over to Majin as he sees Spooks on the top side. Keep it on to Darkbreakers as he pops into the side as well. Storm doing so much damage. The flight run is not quite off cooldown.
Bad position.
This is a chaotic situation.
He actually gets in, and Kamsky is not completely disrupted, or he's not completely exiled just yet. Looks like he's just waiting for his... I don't know if Elpa can actually pick him up right here. He might be out for the count. Darkbreaker sitting on 5 exiles, though. That's absolutely impressive. And this might be Elpa! He gets him up!
Oh my gosh. Well, that is going to be the clutch play of the game if it comes down to it. So Kamsky actually does get rezzed, I believe. But now Elpadog goes down because of the damage that Spooks put on. So SK actually looking in a dominant position. They just have to finish the kill. Kamsky goes down, and SK takes game 3. What a showing. What a showing from SK, taking down the juggernauts of today's event with some clean and coordinated team play and a little bit of help from Spooks. Spooks is the unsung hero in that situation. He was the one who spotted Elpadog going for the res on Kamsky and brought Elpa down to about 80 effective HP in a millisecond with that movement and the damage he put down. SK was able to clean up this ensuing fight after getting Spooks, and that was just a chaotic situation to end game 3. Oh my goodness, OSK.
You can see that beautiful build that they have going on, the Stone Shaper and Toxicologist, maybe the forgotten heroes of this patch. Now they're kind of sitting a little bit below S tier in my opinion, but they're proving that they can make it work just the same. That burst damage is absolutely what you need to do to a conduit in that late game circle. Mid game is when it really comes online, and that late game is when you need to punish. And Darkbreakers and Majin just proving that they have the ability to do it themselves. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Great games to both SK and UT respectively, and also Spooks, who managed to sneak his way in there for the cheeky third-party solo.
Yeah, that was certainly a cheeky move to roll in, but SK with just, I don't want to take away from the accomplishment that SK just pulled off right there. I don't want to make it sound like I'm giving Spooks all the credit for that. SK played that so surgically. The way that they managed to stick onto targets in through all that chaos, something that people don't realize when you're just watching the game at home, is that the amount of things that are going on and you're trying to stick with your duo as CC damage and everything gets laid out. SK sticking together and wiping out the end lobby there, taking game 3 in an unexpected victory. As we get into halftime, we're going to watch a couple beautiful montages from people in the community. We've made a couple changes to the settings as we noticed that you guys said you saw a bit of lag coming in the end there. So we apologize for that, but we're going to get it fixed. We're going to turn it down just a little bit. And after the halftime, we're going to bring you game 4. Enjoy the break, and oh my god, I think I need the break more than anyone in the room. That was just an exciting way to end game 3, and we will be with you shortly, so stick with us, enjoy, and make sure you join Element if you haven't already and you want to be a part of these events, or you just want to watch and support. Make sure you join the Discord. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the montages. I hope you enjoy OSK's sunglasses, the customized shades right there. Looking good. Looking good, looking good. So anyway, we're about to get into the game 4 here. We saw that, as you can see, if you press exclamation mark scores, you can check the whole list of where all your favorite breakers are placing right now. And if you take a look at that score sheet, you will see how far UT has been dominating today's event. OSK, with those beautiful glasses on, please tell me your opinion on what we've seen so far today.
Seen some good stuff, Place. Lots and lots of great gameplay. By the way, these are polarized. They cost a pretty penny for me. I'm very happy about it.
I got to say they're worth every penny. So I appreciate you coming through with them glasses. But more importantly on the table, let's talk about who may be able to take a stab at UT and their extremely high scorecard. Of course, SilentKill is in the best position to maybe make a run, but to do so, we need to get UT wiped out of the lobby early on for the next 3 games. This is going to be a pretty hard blowout if that doesn't happen. But nonetheless, what really matters in these qualifying events is placing in those top spots, not just first place. What matters is showing off your prowess and getting yourself into the next event.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking to see some amazing plays. We've already seen quite a bit. I mean, UT coming out with the absolutely dominant first 3 games. Then you also have SK making their way up there in game 3. It's some great stuff. We're seeing quite a bit of variety in this patch as well. You're seeing some conduit plays. You're seeing some toxicologists. You're seeing some stone shaper. Oddly enough, my prediction was completely wrong. The least that I've seen of is pyromancer.
Yeah, that's I was about to say the same exact sentiment actually. Pyro was like this big thing I was expecting to see everywhere. I was expecting to see Ignite Tick being spammed across, but nobody's running it. It just seems like Conduit Frostborn or Conduit Stone Shaper. I don't know what to expect coming into this new meta.
I don't know either. I have no predictions apparently. This is why my predictions are always bad, man. They're always wrong. I'm like everyone's gonna find their meta in Pyromancer. No, it's actually the least run class in the entire qualifier. It's crazy.
At least we guessed Conduit, though. Let's give ourselves some credit. Even though that was the easiest guess you could have ever made, we're going to say great job here from the casters on the desk over here. You also see that Runic Fluency is, of course, very popular. You know, when you drop the amount of points required to take a skill, that is a major shift in the power of that skill. The value that you receive from taking something like that when it moves to 2 from 3. Harmony, of course, also moving up to 3. So it's quite a shift in what you call the 2-2-2 build that has become so popular through these events. And we are about to get through into game 4, hopefully. As we get through that after a little bit of a halftime break as well. The glasses are coming off, so it's exciting to see here.
Yeah, it's time to get serious. No more memes. It's time for some action going into game 4 for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who's going to find that first exile. I'm hungry for it. I'm hungry in general. I didn't eat breakfast. Give me an exile right now.
Give me an exile for breakfast. Yes, I'm on the West Coast as well, so it's extremely early. But we're going to see bright and early. We got Hanzo OTP on that conduit rolling through once again. Let's keep on bouncing. Maybe we do find a fight early on through into game 4. 3 more games remaining, 3 more opportunities for these players to pop off and maybe land themselves in those top placement points. UT, as we mentioned, continuing to dominate. Let's see if they can maintain that momentum. You see Slammerox and IMX Ventus picking up some early loot. Ares going down to Coon X, and the Exile will follow. So now we're officially down to 29 people. That is the first kill of the game. OSK, is that enough food for you? Is that enough of a breakfast meal?
No, I'm literally on Postmates. I gotta get some McDonald's in this thing. Hold on, give me a second.
Gotta pick up that Big Mac right there. Come through with the meal.
No, dude, I'm not that big. I gotta get a Happy Meal. I gotta get my toy. Look at this. They're all getting educated, getting that beautiful little orange talent. Is that the body? Is that what they call it? The body talent? It's getting that big bod in the summertime right here. IMX Ventus and Slammerox just kind of looting around, but getting shot through the face. It literally surprised him so much he stood still for a second.
I was about to say the same
brain
thing.
Damage.
IMX Ventus takes a frost shot to the knee and just has to post up for a second, let his system just process what happened as they get pushed through the front side. So his teammate Slammerox actually taking a lot of damage, but a nice response from the duo, throwing down the firewall to protect his backside as Slammerox rolls aggressively onto the opponent. Slammerox running that tracking so you can see exactly where he's coming from, getting down Pew Exodius as we roll into the second duo partner of the squad. IMX Ventus looks like he's going to be able to finish it, and that will be a squad wipe right there for the duo. Good start, as hopefully we can bounce around and maybe find some more action.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Hayato over here looking to get looted up. Got that beautiful blue gear, my favorite color, don't you know? He's just going for it. Got the Frozen Heart as well. Beautiful fashion break going on right here. Maybe we hop around just a little bit more and find us some action. I'm still hungry. It's not enough.
Well, maybe Darkbreakers can be your personal chef and bring some of the fighting. So Bastion LMAO actually goes on to Syncade V2, and we're getting right into the action. Shout out to the spectator for getting us just in time to see Marcus get sniped in the forehead. It looks like Syncade actually got the flash freeze off onto Marcus and secured it with the snipe. So that is a double wipe for Fake Doc and Syncade V2 early on in Game 4. Dustpool seems to be exactly where Syncade rolls every single drop, always ending up in this location, always looting up as we see the duo of death so far today. Elpidog and Kamsky, same builds, same classes, same mentality as they try to bring it home. Majin taking the kill onto Mixer Beard Buzz, another kill right there for the SK gentlemen, as they are also playing super aggressive. Fights all over, as you can see, as we rotate around and try to find the SK result. Bringing it to you live, OSK. What do you think about what we're going to get in this action-packed Game 4?
I can tell you right now, that's a very important squad taken out early by Syncade's squad, going back a minute. That's Marcus and Bastion Lamau. So they are both out of this game. They are absolutely deadly on their Frost and Toxicology, respectively. We see Hayato get into a fight right here. I wonder what this squad is. I can't quite tell, but Ad Astral's in this tournament. I actually completely forgot about that, but he's getting bursted down quite quickly. Hayato rocking the Pyromancer. My one man.
No.
Oh no, he doesn't have Firefly yet. Oh no, that's so tragic. No. Come on.
He actually made a very nice play to slide off the backside, but as you mentioned, throws down the firewall as a force of habit on the Pyro, but he doesn't have the ability unlocked yet. So instead, Hayato takes a DF explosion and a tick on his own firewall. Shingy actually rolls up to the fight, so Hayato may be getting a blessing in disguise. You can see that King Ryzen disrupted Astro, but now Shingy disrupted King Ryzen. So Hayato must have noticed that and will try to make a play on the dead body of Astral. Rolling through, oh, the dash gets disrupted due to the wall on the side, but it looks like he may be able to get away with this one, OSK.
This is a third party. They're getting third partied right here. He's going to get a free res onto Ad Astral right here, maybe even tank a bit of damage for it. This absolutely works. Oh, no! No! It canceled, and the man is right above him. Can he get it? Yes, he can.
Oh,
immediately
no.
Re-exiled. That is such a big mistake, and now the Stone Shaper damage coming in.
Wow.
You hate to see it.
Oh, that's the most heartbreaking thing I think I've ever seen in Spellbreak. Holy smokes. I would be tilted off of the face of the earth if that just happened to me right now. So unfortunately, Hayato and Astro will be going down due to that slight mistake. IMX Ventus is now on our spotlight as he looks like he's getting through the storm. And OSK, we're already down to 17 people on the front side of Game 4 here. Huge start, tons of action. Just because you told them you were hungry, OSK, all of this death is because of you. I blame you for this chaos.
I was hungry, man. I can't help my appetite. It's got a certain threshold it needs, okay?
So Darkbreaker's getting a legendary belt. That's going to be massive for the Stone Shaper setup. Again, they are running Toxicologist Stone Shaper. It worked so well for them in Game 3, and we are going to get down to it. No kills yet for Darkbreakers. I do believe Majin has one on his name, but nonetheless.
Blaze, I just want to point out that the entire kill feed is nasty right now. Oh, there's IMX Ventus. Okay, he heard me. He went ahead and got that off my screen. And now we see Syncade rolling into a squad. Now, one name I haven't seen pop up quite yet is Untiered. I wonder if this is them right here. We have the female skin and we have the original Marla. I can't tell what squad this is, but it looks very similar. This would be an amazing fight. Oh! And he gets it. That's nasty. Oh,
nasty man! As he lays down the snipe across the map, I was literally waiting in anticipation as Syncade says good night to Team Nasty, following up and helping out Fake Doc on his fight. Nice team play from the gentleman over here. This is a duo that we did talk about to start the day. They are so much potential to pop off. The mechanics shared between these two players is high level to say the least, and Syncade just hitting Nasty right between the eyes and getting the double kill. 12 people left in the game as we see UT also sliding through.
Oh man, I'm wanting to see if Untier can get some exiles. Now this is a little bit uncharacteristic from what I'm used to seeing. Now we've seen these kind of strats before where players will go really aggressive early on in the first 3 games and then play passively the last 3. But I don't think that of of Untiered. I think that they're going to be aggressive as ever. I think they can still rack up some exiles fairly quickly. So that's what we'll be looking forward to. We see the former Doc coming over here. I can't tell if he's found anybody. I can't tell if there's any enemies around him. It looks like it was just him putting a tornado for the sake of it. But he
Yeah,
sees
I
someone in
don't
the
think they
distance.
see anybody. It looks actually like SilentKill and Fake Doc are just going to take that high ground and hold it. Smart move, actually, when you think about the makeup of their builds. You see Unhelp here with the Pyro, so he switched off of the lovely Tempest, and it looks like the Pyro is working for him as he puts down a lot of damage onto his front target. SK Majin gets a kill onto Kiko Koi. Nice drop for him using the Toxic Gauntlet in the side, and now Unhelp looks to make the push. His opponent is a little bit low. His teammate is getting a bit of pressure as well, but Unhelp has the Shadow Step off cooldown, drops a nice firewall, but the conduit damage incoming from the top side is too high. Yeah, that was a massive turn of events now, and it looks like Unhelp is just not going to have the damage or HP to push that fight. Slammerox will secure it as Doggy Poggy rolls through into the house and goes for the relaxing break. Majin in the tree with the tree line skin. Nice to see him utilizing that beautiful camouflage on that beautiful new skin as IMX Ventus looks to continue the reign. Sincade actually being the one to secure the kill onto Doggy Poggy. So Unhelp and his duo getting split up and spread out by two separate teams. You see IMX Ventus now popping off with a little bit of damage. But this Pyro Conduit build is finally being realized, OSK. It feels good after all of the anticipation and nobody running it. We finally see Conduit Pyro in the flesh.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that you love to see. Actually, lightning and fire is one of my favorite pairings on the Conduit class, and they're just pairing it with the classes as well. Now he's getting chunked down for all his armor right here, looking to get away, but not going to. The fake doctor saying, I don't treat people anymore. I just caused the damage. I'm hungry as well. And Slammerox better be careful. He's rocking the half shield here, and it looks like some Shadow Step, potentially Toxicologist, and needs to be very careful with that zone closing in as well. Looking for the... Oh, that's a red.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
And Majin gonna clean it up.
God, SK Majin is just blowing me away today with his skill and the way that he's been playing this event. I am so impressed with how Majin has been showing up. Pulling out another really, really high IQ play to follow the body. That's what you always know as instinct, but sometimes it's hard to follow through with it as he goes in and loses the kill because of the storm. So unfortunate. Hopefully the scorers can still credit him with the kill because he earned it, but he takes down Sincade for a massive drop. Majin, hello. Majin, hello. Okay, he's there.
Okay,
Thank
decision
goodness.
made.
For a second, I thought he may have disconnected and costed himself a quick death. I got a little bit nervous, but he's okay. And we're going to quickly bounce around. There's now 5 people left in the game. Let's show you who's left. Hanzo OTP, a.k.a. Black Labby, in his own as a solo. And moving on, you can already guess who the last duo is. It's Elpa Dog and Kamsky, looking to take game 3 out of 4 for them if they win it. So there's been 4 games total. UT has won 2 of them. They could make it 3 if they take the dub here, and they're looking to capitalize. Elpadog just posted up on the high ground, looking down with that hover and that red tracking that you get with the Frostborn, trying to spot out his opponents.
Yeah, and there he finally sees one. It's only one. I can't see his partner, but there he is to the bottom right, just out of sight right there. Can't quite see him, but he's just going to aim down, looking for any kind of frost shot he can get. I think this is 3rd circle territory, so he might have that extra damage. Maybe looking to hold his left mouse button just a little bit longer, but they're getting approached on. This is exactly what you need to do in this kind of matchup. We have Frostborn and we have Conduit. They don't do the best close range. Kamsky and Elpa are going to have to rely on their absolute beautiful mechanical skills, but they are just getting absolutely outclassed in this terrain.
Yeah, that was a hard push. OSK, you made an excellent point. The opposing team is doing exactly what you have to do against Frostborn Conduit. Jump down the throat. I know it's very intimidating when you're lining up against Kamsky and Elpadog, 2 mechanically gifted players, but you have to play towards your win condition. And the win condition for SK in this situation is getting up in their faces. You see, UT has now been forced to separate and regroup away from the high ground. Amazing, amazing play from SK to force this type of rotation. Look at Kamsky trying to struggle to bring his way back to the squad. Still hasn't taken damage, but that's just Kamsky things. That's just something you have to expect when you look at a player of this caliber. 0 kills on him so far in the game, but we are now down to a clean 2v2 as DarkBreakers finishes the kill onto Black Labby. This is the 2v2 we have seen almost every single game. SK versus UT to end Duo's Game 4 in the Arsenal tournament. And we see Kamsky full HP, popping off some damage with the conduit. Gonna see DarkBreakers looking to regen. Majin drinking a quick potion with recovery stacked as well. Throws down, takes the vanishing mist, and this is what we were talking about. Jumping right down into the throat of the opponent. Getting up in UT Updog's face, dodging the frost shot very cleanly. As Majin gets, no! He gets stuck on a big puddle! And now he takes, oh my goodness. The focus fire damage.
In a very bad situation. He gets frozen. That's going to allow a lot of time for Elpa to get that heal off and therefore heal off his teammate. He has to be very careful right here. That Stone Shaper isn't going to do much with only the 20 armor. He is just one tick away. Nice little flight dash. Unfortunately, it might not be enough.
Oh no! And he's just going to get frozen
free damage
now. Oh, the PM!
But he gets disrupted.
Oh my lord, I was not expecting to see a bit of crouch spam coming out during the freeze right there. Kamsky and Alpadog, you can see the confidence oozing off of these two players as they secure their 3rd win out of 4 games. I don't know what these teams can do to beat UT anymore at this point, OSK. We talked about it briefly in there. You need to get up in their face and put some action. I was so excited to see SK run that game plan, but the mechanical prowess of a player like Kamsky and a player like Alpadog, they can just take the 1v1 and go for it immediately. It's no issue for them. It's crazy to watch in these 2v2 situations.
Yeah, absolutely. You're just seeing, I think that match in particular really showcased the limitations of a Stone Shaper class. You want to have something that's going to be good on all kinds of terrain. Now, DarkBreakers is amazing with the Stone Shaper class, but you can see just the inherent limitations. There's no mid-air collisions. There's a lot of unfavorable spell interactions. You can see him getting frozen twice in that last little 1v1 between the duos. It's a little bit tragic because it has less sustain now. It's got those unfavorable spell interactions. They're just better classes out there, in my opinion. So hopefully, if an adjustment needs to be made, he can make it. I know he loves that Stone Shaper class, but I really would like to see him do better in these kind of situations. And I know he can.
And I just want to quickly do a quote from Zest that he's talking about the teabag we saw from Kamsky after the freeze. Completely out of pocket, absolutely disrespectful. And that is the quote that is UT in today's event. They have been rolling through every single duo and situation that they've been lined up with. But you bring up a great point about class selection right there. Stone Shaper was a really tough buy to take into that final fight. And I think the star of the show was CC. Did you see Majin get stuck on the puddle, OSK, and take 115 damage in like 2 seconds? Against a coordinated duo, if you get locked up, they're going to lock you up as well. They put down the damage the second that they saw his foot get caught. This is the difference that we see in the meta now that Runic Fluency is over Harmony. Before, in previous iterations of this comp scene, when Harmony was the dominant force, you wouldn't see a situation like that because everybody had CC immunity. But now it's a different ball game. You see the freeze coming out that allows for the disrespect. You see the puddle that allows for the huge burst. And it's interesting to see the effect. It's definitely interesting to see.
That's actually the only reason you freeze is just to get a quick BM before you slap him in the face. That's all it is. I mean, what else are you going to freeze for? I mean, he's frozen for what? A second and a half? That's plenty enough time. Maybe a quick wave, maybe a quick little flex, you know?
Yeah, so if anybody wants to know the mechanical combo that you just saw, that's flash freeze, double crouch into the frost slam, hit that double C for maximum disrespect as Kamsky and Alpadog are feeling good. You can see it in their scores, you can see it in their gameplay, and you can see it in their BM. And that was a fantastic game 4 as we're looking to bring you game 5 very shortly. Any teams to look out for? I think we can almost assert that first place has been secured. I do think that UT has played well enough that there is no challenge to their dominance. As long as they get placed 15 for the next 2 games, they can take first.
In terms of placements, yes. However, SK, I think really outdid them in terms of exiles right there. That's another thing to keep track of. SK always has a high number of exiles, so you can't really count them out. They come in second place twice, and they actually won first place on one match. So I don't count them out at all. I won't say that first place is really secured, and I think that we really leave them out of too many conversations when we talk about our predictions.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's my apologies that I always forget about these people, but they are really proving themselves. If I would be really surprised if first place is as secured as what we think it is. I would be very surprised, actually.
I mean, it's a great point you bring. I think that when we do these predictions, SK has proven to us today that they need to be included in those talks, in those discussions about dominance. They need to be included. And we are about to bring you Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking around as we get into the action. We're looking at Moktola 1 and Hanzo OTP. And look at this. They have shifted to Pyro Conduit.
Oh, he sees him. He sees his next target, pings it as well. He's like, Hanzo, it's time to bring out your bow. Bring out that beautiful rapid fire we all know you for. I think he sees someone right here as well. Yeah, but just looted his chest.
No belt. OSK, Moktola has no belt, no boots, and a gray amulet. I don't know if this is the move.
See, this is why you pick the conduit class, because you can just sit back, you can let your damage rain, no need to worry about any sort of damage coming in. He'll be just fine. There's also the possibility that his opponents don't have belts either, so they're going to get a quick damage check if they can land a shot and see what kind of armor they have and what kind of health.
Yeah, nice try by Moktola to freeze the cloud. Oh, he misses such a free shot onto the backside, but the lightning strike lands.
He does have armor.
Yeah,
does have armor, but not very much.
Yeah, like you said, OSK, a huge part of these skirmishes is damage checking your opponent to check what resources they have available. Moktola 1 now knows that his opponent has a little bit of armor left, so he is at a disadvantage in terms of health. Ooh, he considers the fire and decides to take it over the ice offhand. Syncade V2 getting a triple kill, or should I say double kill with the secure in the kill feed at the same time that SK Majin and the Darkbreakers kill 2 streamer modes. So shout out to SK for protecting us from the evil streamer modes. God bless them for protecting us from that evil influence as we see them wipe it out, and we're down already to 26 people. Moktola 1 does have his belt, so he's a little bit more comfortable, and he's going to look to fight.
By the way, that's an unspoken rule. If you kill a streamer mode, you are allowed to BM. Okay, you are allowed. I give you my pass. You didn't hear it from me, though. But
so
anyway,
Moktola 1 still doesn't have a rune, ladies and gentlemen. His damage is extraordinarily high, but he has no boots and no rune. He is essentially a walking sentry gun, and he has Hanzo OTP on his team to help him out, who also has no boots. This is a tough situation as you see how vulnerable you can be. Moktola taking 64 damage to the throat as he looks to push onto this next fight as well. Look at them go forward, and look at the damage that we were just talking about with Conduit. 8, 9, 7 ticks all over as the damage comes
beautiful
out.
Stuff. Hey, Plays. What's blue, navy blue, and white all over?
Navy blue and white all over?
Yeah, it's a Marla getting zapped by Conduit. And that's exactly what Moktola 1 is doing right here.
Admit to me that you wrote that last night and you whipped it out. Just admit to me that, please.
I actually just thought of it now, and it's a terrible joke. But anyway, he finds himself some nice blue amulet right here. Going to get all jeweled up, and now he has all the mana to rock that potential energy, and that's exactly why he had to switch out that Frost from earlier. I was actually surprised he wasn't zapping with that lightning earlier. He has the long range weapon. Now he has the mid to close range. He's fine.
Yeah, well, that was actually a very, very interesting start to the game. We don't usually stay on one team for so long, but it was cool to see that whole thing progress from the very start of the drop to Moktola looting up to them resetting the fight and finishing it. Very, very interesting angle, and I love when the spectator client allows us to show different full fights. You see Mixer, Beardbuzz, and Zombie Gnome coming through here. Beardbuzz on that beautiful bug skin, OSK. I know you're a huge fan of the bug skin, but we see he's got that legendary amulet, and his teammate is decently looted as well. Mike Wazowski goes down to fake Doc. King Ryzen, his teammate, also falls in the exchange. So that's going to be more kills for Syncade and his duo Doc as they continue to try to make a stab at the podium.
Yeah, for sure. And we see Hayato rotating into this squad right here at Astral. Has him in sights as well. This is going to be a very, very important engagement for them. Any sort of damage or exile is going to be very important. So hopefully they can rotate towards them. They realize that they don't have the best positioning right here. So maybe they're trying to bait them out to the flatter ground where they can make better use of that stone and also the fire. That would be my guess. And Hayato just going to lay down the potential energy damage. The newly buffed conduit class. Let's see if he can make any use of it right here. The flight. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake. That's free.
Oh.
Absolutely free for any conduit tracking you down.
Yeah, Beardbuzz just gets popped there by Hayato as his teammate Astro looks to finish the kill on the far side. She's facing it down with that new tree-line skin, but the opponent runs away with the flight. The damage won't land to finish the kill, and you see the potential for the third party. Frost shots coming in towards Hayato as Astro looks to finish the kill, but it looks like they're separated now. This is not what you want to do. Astral has pushed so far forward to try to secure the kill, and now she may be in a bit of trouble as multiple teams are going to collapse. Nice move to just retreat back to the teammate and reset your HP. Remember that there's still 21 people left in the game, OSK, so there is going to be more fights to be had. They got some great damage down. They got a nice disrupt and exile onto Beardbuzz. They don't need to go any farther as they just continue to re-loot and consolidate their lead. Sincade V2, on the other hand, is picking a fight directly, dropping off Zombie Gnome, who was the remaining member of Beardbuzz's team, so that squad is officially wiped. And we see Sincade coming through. So, also, just quickly as I noticed it, Sincade is running the Harmony. He decided to pay up the 3 points on the new Harmony, still valuing that CC cancel more than anything else. Very interesting to see.
Yeah, and one thing to notice, too, is that not the most recent hotfix or patch, but with the one before it, it removed Fervor's effect on the Frost charge time. So you don't really need... God, that was huge. Absolutely huge. Now it showed 144 damage. We know that's not true, but that was still a very nice shot.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Spectator client once again has baited you guys, but
yeah, baited me again. Did it again.
Oh, they're actually going to face that third party now, so Sincade is in a lot of trouble after whipping out some clean kills onto Hayato and Astral. 15 people left, but Sincade is actually going to be able to escape without too much pressure being put down. Something else to mention is that his teammate Fake Doc is running Tempest. So Sincade and Fake Doc going for some unorthodox builds. No Conduit is the most notable of which, as they look to secure their loot. Nice play from Sincade, though.
I think what I'm seeing here is the evolution of the Spellbreak YouTube scene. If you want to get a nice little thumbnail with a nice clickbait title and you want a huge damage number, just have a friend go in spectator mode and put you on Frostborn. You'll see the 200 damage mark.
We see Nasty getting the kills onto Ventus. Kamsky went down to Majin. Hopefully
that's huge.
Bounce over with that spectator slide right now. Get it over and let's see the result of that. That is massive right now.
I'm still hungry right now. I haven't ordered my food yet, but Majin's already eaten. And that's a full exile on the Kamsky as well. That is not a disrupt. I can't see where he's been disrupted before either, so I don't know if Elpa is still in the picture either.
It looks like he was deep in the storm when that disrupt came. Wow, nice play from Darkbreakers, comboing the boulder with the tornado to pull the boulder right into his opponent's face. And now Darkbreakers is now just in this tight skirmish as Sincade V2 says, "Give me your life." Smashing that huge Frost. Look at this high IQ play, dropping the flash
Majin, don't let him do it.
Defense. Oh, but Sincade actually does get interrupted, so now he's going to have to just try to push it, still managing to have the time and space.
And doesn't get it in time. Darkbreakers, that's absolutely huge. Now it's a 2v1. I don't care how little health you have. A different source of damage is going to be better than anything else, and Majin going down, that's going to absolutely...
My lord, look at the conduit damage. Sincade taking such a pop as he pops himself up, trying to hit a Frost Snipe. The lightning is just so hard to deal with as Asta, aka Fake Doc, gets disrupted. Moktola will be credited with the drop as he finishes him with the lightning. Sincade says, I need to just fully get my reset. Does not want to play into a 1v2 right now. This is probably the best move you can do. He's still on Frostborn, so as we know, Frostborn has a lot of potential to snipe in at the end of a game and secure some big points. That may be the mentality he goes with as he just watches another squad roll right by. He's going to be perfectly fine with letting those guys do whatever they want to do and not involve himself. Hanzo OTP, aka Black Labby, and Moktola looking like they are in a great position to take this game though, OSK.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Syncade realizes that he's sitting on 5 exiles, doesn't want to give any more away in case he can have a third-party opportunity.
Yeah.
Also, running the Frostborn gives you that little bit extra damage. Even
Oh.
if a little disruption is all you get, it's still better than nothing. So definitely viability there. You see Hanzo at DP trying to focus down, not quite succeeding just yet. We have a 3 lockdown right here. He needs to be very careful about damage teammate with that conflict though. Maktola dealing the damage, but doesn't quite make it due to absolutely nasty damage coming out. Now Nasty Shingy is down. Slammer Rocks making sure of that. Very careful, nice outbreak slap that takes out the shields.
Well, you saw the amount of damage that can come out of Stone Shaper in that little corner. The Toxicologist Stone Shaper combo absolutely melted Black Labby and Maktola as they fall. 8 people left in the game as Blitz looks to try to maybe up his teammate here. This is a very ideal situation. You know that their comms are going off trying to recommend the res, but you see the Pyro interrupt their session as Blitz needs to try to just reset this fight. Remember, 8 people left, so if he can get lucky enough, this man will get third-partied, and he can look to res. In speaking of getting jumped on, though, Blitz gets hopped on by an opponent's Stone Shaper. 8 people still left in the game. No major movements have been done. Every corner that Blitz goes to round, there is another opponent. This is what is so hard about 1v2ing in these competitive environments.
And Marcus, where did that snipe come? That must have come from below because I didn't see him above. A very nice threading the needle right there. Very nicely done indeed. And we're seeing the one beneficial aspect of Icicle coming out right here. You can actually get above the trees and see if there's any enemies nearby. Now he's going to read up. He is safe to study for the time being. And he's going to play a Syncade right here. He's going to try to stay safe, try to back off of the action, and just get any picks that he can. Nice little T-pose float right there. I appreciate it. And now we see Slammer. There's a lot of
pretty interesting as well about what this final circle has kind of shaken up to be is that we have 2 separate people who are solos playing Frostborn. Both Syncade and Marcus are on their own without a teammate. Both of them are on the Frostborn for their squad. So I wonder if that has to do with the mentality behind playing Frostborn and knowing that even if you have your teammate down, you can still make a major move at the end. So both players are going for that general strategy. Speaking of solo, look at Know You're Bad on his own, getting shot at with the ice. He does actually have teleport conduit, so he's going for that version of mobility with massive rune movement. Can slide across the map very easily with such a build.
Yeah, I'm just really hoping that all his targets are valid in this sort of environment right here. And I want to point out that we have 4 solo players and 1 duo left. So in terms of placement, it's still very volatile. You want to try to stay out of these fights as much as possible. You want to kind of rack up that little bit of placement. Maybe if you're Dan, you want to avoid, first of all, taking that kind of damage. And second, spamming your lightning to get any sort of damage value you can. Maybe a cheeky disruption if you're lucky enough. You just want to play this real slow, very methodical. Marcus taking up his perch. He can literally see everyone with that Frostborn class. He's playing this very smart.
Yeah, this is so good for Marcus. This is legitimately exactly what you need to do in this situation on your own. Find some high ground that will be durable and stay on it. He will actually get moved because of the storm. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Well played from
one more
Marcus
time to
as he
float,
looks to finish the kill. Oh, that's a hard shot to hit. Yeah, his opponent was moving so fast as Marcus looks to chase this down and maybe secure the kill for himself. Shadow Step off cooldown as he decides to use it. Finds his opponent, hits him for 27. Not exactly ideal. As he sees his opponent is a Toxicologist. Oh, wow, a free shot from Marcus. And the follow-up, but the teleport comes off just in time. So now Marcus still full HP, full armor. It will be trying to make some moves.
He never misses those shots either. Very lucky on his opponent right there. Needs to be very careful. Sets down the Frost Sorcery to block any sort of lightning and fire. 2 of the most popular sources of damage right now. Needs to be careful. The Stone Shaper still. Now he's making himself a prime target by floating up there, but it works out for him this time. He needs to find himself a nice little inlet and heal up with that big shield pot.
This looks like we're getting into a literal 1v1v1v1. I don't think very many people have a standing duo. All of this just turns into a solos match at the end of the day, as Syncade actually has a lot of potions to work with. Thirsty will help him get his... Oh, no! Thirsty will help him get his reset off, but he is still in trouble. Greater Chaos just blows him up. Look at that pyro damage. Unbelievable. As Sincade goes down, this is the last remaining standing duo, Gator Bait and Raider Chaos, as they look to finish off the game. Raider Chaos takes a quick Storm Surge, but moves back inside. No armor to drink for the reset. Remember, 4 people left in the game, and I believe they are both solos. So it is a 2v1v1 as Gator Bait gets jumped on. His teammate Raider Chaos looks to maybe follow it up a little bit as they see the trade. Slammerox goes down, and now it is officially a 2v1 to end it. What an unexpected end to Game 5 as Raider Chaos continues to look for the air shot. More damage coming out with the lightning, and he's looking to just clean this game up. It looks like they have full control here, OSK.
Uh-oh. Dude, Gator Bait's getting really low. We can see Marcus doing some
1v2.
work. Marcus 1v1 now. Now we have Pyromancer versus the Frostborn. What is the superior class? Who is it going to be? He's looking for any sort of frost shot he can get. Raider Chaos playing it very, very smart on the indoors,
Marcus,
but gets called out anyway. He is looking to just circle around any sort of toxic.
Marcus actually turned this entire fight around. He used that Frostborn sorcery to break off the damage, and now Raider Chaos is on the back foot. Marcus playing this so excellent. We have been waiting for the Marcus pop off, and it looks like it's finally
This is going to be close down to the wire. 1 HP on both of them. The next hit, and Marcus takes it. Oh my goodness. Beautiful stuff from Marcus.
Holy, oh my goodness. Somebody check my heart rate. Marcus, aka Apostle, just shoving my own words back in my face. I said that Raider Chaos looked like he had full control in that 2v1 situation, but Marcus showing me that that was a lie. He pops off to end both kills right there. The final one was down to exactly 14 HP on Marcus. Can you believe that type of situation, OSK?
Oh my goodness, man. I knew that if anyone was going to be able to pull out that 2v1, it would be Marcus. I played against him yesterday. Absolutely slippery guy, and he lands almost all of his shots as well. If anyone is going to take that 2v1, you better believe it's going to be Marcus.
Yeah, and we have been talking all day about Marcus's mechanical ability and how he's been looking to just in a prime position to pop off, and we finally saw it. You mentioned that you were hungry, OSK. Well, Marcus has just whipped on the chef's hat and fed you lunch, going off to clutch a 2v1. And the craziest part about that situation was it was a 1v1v1v2. And the team of two was doing a great job of cleaning up all the stragglers. But when it comes down to Marcus, Marcus says, I am no straggler. I am the captain of this ship. And he knocks them both down to take over Game 5. I wonder what that's going to do to the scorecard as we get into our final game of the day. But that was an insane moment, I got to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with that duo that we saw with Raider Chaos, he's actually making use of the one beneficial aspect of Conflag, which is just using it in that enclosed space against pretty much a rock and a hard place. You can put all those extra fireballs into the way that your opponent wants to go, and they have to basically run through all of that extra damage to try to get out, and there's just absolutely no way you can do it. That being said, Marcus just absolutely... just the finesse in his movement, the ability to dodge all of those close range fireballs. It's so hard to do. And he lands the toxic slaps of his own, even with a disadvantaged sort of kit. We know that fire takes over toxic as far as spell interactions go. He makes it work anyway. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Absolutely fantastic mechanics on the part of Marcus.
Yeah, and it's a very funny situation too. So when that was going down, I know we do have a bit of a delay, so I'm seeing it off the rip. But when I saw people in chat were literally saying Marcus clutches these when he gets into the 1v2, disadvantaged with lower armor, worse gauntlets, and everybody still believed in the man himself, taking that one out. And we had that full clutch moment from Marcus, aka Apostle. I would love to see the final clip. I know that's going to end up in a video somewhere because Marcus has some really great video content. But we're going to get ready to show you some more Spellbreak content as we get ready for Game 6. Do you have any predictions? This is what we usually see, though, OSK, is huge amounts of action. People know that their score matters and that the score is dependent on this final game. So people who are lower, they have to go hard. They have to W key, drop on Fort Halcyon, and pray to God you get a belt. And that's what we might see in Game 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Last game of the qualifiers, you want to absolutely get as much damage, as much exiles, as best placement as you can get. This should really go for all of the games. But I really want to look at SK. They were able to put down untiered fairly early in the last game, and I would dare say in terms of exiles, they're probably just about even. In terms of placements, I think untiered has them beat, winning 3 games this tournament, or this qualifier rather. I'm looking to see them really step up, really target down some duos, and just really make themselves known. If they're going to do it, it's going to be right here, right now, as we hop into game 6.
Yeah, it looks like we are just about to bring up that spectator camera and show you the action. So enough of our pretty faces and let's get back to the fighting. Team Nasty has been doing a great job so far today of just keeping up that momentum. I want to quickly shout out to the spectator and make sure that he switches over to switch off of exit so that we do not get booted out of this game. Sorry, I get a little bit nervous when I see it. I can see it under the bar a little bit, and just we got to make sure for game 6 that we are clean here as we get into it. So I was actually completely proven wrong. Once again, obtuse caster. There is very little fights happening at the start here. Just Hayato and Astro picking up against Know You're Bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I saw in the kill feed that Astro actually downed himself in the middle of that. The suicide charge, and Hayato takes out Spooks and Know You're Bad. Unfortunate for those 2 gentlemen, but very fortunate for Hayato and Ed Astral. Very nicely done with the first duo kill.
Yeah, well played by Hayato to clutch up the situation there. He had a green or a gray belt, so really not much to work with, no items, but he still manages to come through clutch and save Astro from a quick exile. So Hanzo OTP, aka Black Labby, gets the drop onto Bastion LMAO. Marcus was the one who won last game, and it looks like he's going to have to pull out another trick from his hat, as he's now into a 2v1 situation with Hanzo OTP and his duo partner Moktola 1. We see as well King Ryzen in the game still, Doggy Poggy, all sorts of names.
Here.
But what we want to see is Marcus trying to pull it out. His hand is still hot from the last game's action, as he's going to have to leave Bastion LMAO to die. Syncade V2 goes down to Kamsky at the same time that Elpadog and Kamsky got wiped by Fake Dog. I want to say that the result of that is an exile for both squads.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like Fake Doc took out Kamsky fairly early, and Kamsky picking up the early exile onto Syncade. This is it. If SK are going to make their move, it's going to be right now, because that is the #1 team taken out so early. There's still over 20 people left. So if SK are going to make their move, they have to do it right now. I don't know the status of Elpa. I don't know if he's still around, still kicking somewhere, but he needs to absolutely be careful of this SK. He needs to play it a little safe, make it to the end game so he at least has a chance of getting that good placement.
Yeah, so Kamsky did stick with it. I'm not sure if he did get wiped out of the game fully, but regardless, UT and all of them have been popping off today. And also OSK, remember that the worst game of your 6 games gets removed. So even if they did get a quick wipe in game 6, that game will not be counted. Just like every other team, your lowest score of the 6 gets removed. And we see Bastion LMAO exiling himself with wind. Weird interaction, but it happened anyway. And we see Darkbreakers with a Focus Mana build, whipping out the same thing we've seen all day, been very successful with it as we get over to the Nasty team and the rest of the lobby. Not a lot of action though, OSK. I expected a lot more.
Blaze, I have to tell you something. I'm actually an idiot because Elpa's in the kill feed. He's exiled too. So there's no chance for untiered to really earn any more points. SK has to make their move. They have to get those exiles. They have to get that placement too. If they can do it, they have a real chance to take first place in this qualifier.
Yeah, that's actually an amazing point. If SK has a crazy pop-off game, they might be able to take it. But Kamsky and Elpadog have really set themselves apart in this event so far. They have just been in every moment popping off as we get over to some more fights, trying to bring you guys the action. Game 6, remember, this is the final game of today's contest. We will have the same event next week, qualifier number 2. But for now, this beautiful loading screen is just blocking everything. I didn't want to see it anyway, as Darkbreakers looks to turn the corner, mana recharging, gets the drop onto Monsieur Tusk. I don't know if that is the real Tusk, the real legendary Tusk, but if it is, Darkbreakers just got a nice kill onto him. Throwing down the Tornado as well. I have a feeling it's not Tusk, but I'm just going to throw that out there as Darkbreakers looks to continue to regen off of the bottom side.
I do not know, but that is how it starts. You see the early exiles coming in. Darkbreakers already with 2. I don't know if Majin has any. I don't think so, but he has every opportunity to really stack up those numbers. And I think SK at this point have to know that their biggest competition is now out of the game. So they know that they have a real chance to turn this around for their first place placement. Now, we're not playing for money today. It is just a qualifier, but the pride, the absolute pride and bragging rights of getting first place over people that you know are amazing at the game, it's better than any monetary prize, in my opinion.
And I mean, the most important part as well is that if you qualify, you do get a shot at the money. There is money involved in the end result. $250 total for not today, but for this set of Arsenal Duos tournaments. So a pretty solid prize pool as these players continue to work for the money. What I'm hearing from chat is that SK may have just taken first place, especially by securing that kill onto Zombie Gnome. Let's keep it relaxed. We'll wait till the end and have our beautiful scorekeepers double check and make sure, but we might have just seen a very, very big upset in today's qualifier. Kamsky and Elpadog being by far the favorites to win, and SK coming through on a sneaky performance. We're going to have to wait and double check all of the scores, but for now, it's going to be an exciting conclusion to say the least.
Yeah, and another squad that you keep mentioning over and over, Nasty. I also want to see how they're doing in the standings too. I know that they've had a few breakout games with a lot of good exiles. Not really on the point of placements, but I know that they've been racking up some exiles. So I really want to see how they're standing as well. Ad Astral getting some action himself. Nice teleport out. That's actually really smart to do. He knows he's in the middle of a multi. Oh no, invalid target.
No.
He at least keeps the rune charge. Nice bug fix on the point of Proletariat. You don't get that that invalid target rune charge taken up. IMX Venta is just gonna take him out. And Majin following up on Hayato. So that's another exile their way. They're just racking up the score.
Yeah, SK really, really making a case for themselves today. As you said, Hayato goes down to SK, and the Darkbreakers also getting a drop onto a hollow skin with the streamer mode.
Who is
SK
this?
once again doing us a service and knocking out these streamer modes. The shot comes down from Pioneer 32, but he's just getting bursted. SK knows their build, and they know exactly how to execute their game plan. Look at the streamer mode run away like a coward with 1 HP and get smoked. SK Majin finishes off the kill. More drops for Team SK as they get third-partied. Turning around with a little bit of lightning now, Majin has to try to flick the fight, drops a bit of a lightning storm, throws down the toxic slap as well. Cloud comes down, but the DF counters. Fire blows up in Majin's face. Both players on the team down to low armor, full HP. Darkbreakers takes a couple shots in the back, but actually trades evenly. Lightning coming out, but to no effect. And now Majin's backside is just getting destroyed by Nasty Blitz, and he hits the double slaps to get the disrupt. Darkbreakers is now in a very compromising situation, trying to push out of multiple fights.
There's 3 people going after him. They're all locked onto him. What is going on? Guys, fight each other. Do something.
Yeah, they really just want to secure it onto Darkbreakers, but it looks like the fight actually does break down. Darkbreakers gets away with the flight, and both fights collapse onto each other. Marcus, aka Apostle, I swear to God, if he clutches this game back-to-back, I am going to lose it. Slammerox now has to turn it, but he gets the drop onto Nasty Blitz, surviving with 16 HP and recovery ticking. But that might be the end of the show for our hero. Takes Invis, lightning zapped him just a second ago. He's going to go for the res on his teammate IMX Ventus. He's definitely making the call, saying, bring it back over here, man. Try to slide over to me, and I'm going to pop you up. This is a risky play right here. One frost shot means the end of their lobby.
See a player to the left there.
They just barely get it off. Now IMX Ventus has to make a full reset attempt as Slammerox takes the invis.
He has got to be very careful. Got to get the flank right here and execute. Oh, that shock is going to be huge. That's a lot of damage coming his way, and absolutely punished for his good deeds. And
Marcus.
Exile. Whoa, hold on. Okay, I'm getting conflicting messages, but Marcus taking out Hanzo OTP right here with the disrupt. Maktola on full HP. He's still in a bit of trouble. Marcus coming in with the toxic and lining up the frost. Doesn't quite hit it. He needs one more good frost shot, and he is done out of the count. This has got to be Darkbreakers coming in. we're already 5 people left. This is everybody left in the lobby just absolutely going after it.
Darkbreakers picked up Majin. How did he manage to pull that off? I literally saw 9 people chasing Darkbreakers like 2 minutes ago, and he manages to break away, res his teammate, and just get back into the fight. This man is a savage out here as he lays the beat down onto yet another opponent. He is just unstoppable! Look at the disrespect! Oh my god! What is with today's contestants dropping the BM? I can't believe these people going off like this. He stood there for a second. He said, Marcus, tap you on the back, sir. Get out of my lobby with the wind slap. That is going to be the conclusion of Game 6. OSK, what are your thoughts?
I think for situations like that, we need an execute key. We need something to hold down so we can get that beautiful execute. If you drop onto somebody with like 50 HP and you're able to hold it for like 2 seconds, just tap, and then wind spam him out of there. Just do it. That's what I want.
Well, what a showing from the Darkbreakers and his teammate Majin. Team SK all over today's event. Oh my god, what a performance. Not just from them, but from UT, Moktola, Black Labby, all of the contestants. This was a fantastic duos event, and it was an even better way to end it. We saw Kamsky hit the freeze into double tap C. We saw Darkbreakers, I'm watching it on the replay. We saw Darkbreakers go for the open hand goodnight slap. Oh my goodness. We are going to just wait a second now. The scores are going to take a second to double calibrate, make sure that everything is perfectly even and everything is well counted. You guys will be around to see the results. We're going to put it up on stream after a quick break. Once again, we want to thank you guys all for being here and all the support. I hope you guys enjoyed the games you saw today, the events you saw, the new meta. Just an exciting day overall. We had a new game mode, new classes, new setups, all sorts of new plays and mechanics. And it was a great day overall. So, OSK, any last comments before we go to that BRB and check the scores?
Man, just reiterating what I said before, these people deserve to be in our conversations. SK, TDarkB, taking it over Kamsky, who, by the way, in my opinion, still arguably the best competitive player to ever touch the game.
Agreed.
That duo of SK taking it over him and Elpadog. So definitely some big news coming up. Maybe a little shift in the leaderboards when we finally get them. But in all seriousness, great job to everyone who came out. Marcus with the beautiful clutch, Kamsky and Elpadog with the dominant gameplay, and SK with just the sheer amount of exiles probably taking them over. But we're going to find out here when we come back with our scores.
One more before we go, though. I also, I can't believe that I was about to get away without giving credit to that team over there. Team Nasty. They really came out and exceeded my expectations tenfold. I knew the names. I've seen them play. I know they're talented players, but they really showed everybody in this competition that they're up-and-comers. They were popping off. They were playing as a unit. They were using new strategies and new classes that weren't as popular. It was an exciting day for Team Nasty and everybody involved. Again, we're going to go to the BRB. I'm just too excited talking about all these teams. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for all the support and love. We will show you guys the donators once again to give them another shout out, but that's after the BRB screen and after we confirm all the scores. So thank you very much, and we'll go over to that screen now. Hello and welcome back. This is the last time you're going to have to see our faces. Don't worry about it, but we are here to bring you guys the final scores, and we had a bit of an upset, OSK. Without further ado, let's just bring the scorecard over so you can see what we're talking about.
Yep, absolutely.
So as you can see, in first place today, you had it being taken by SilentKill. They managed to turn it around after the halftime break and flip the competition on its head, taking first place by almost over 200 points, just under 200. In third place, you had Thunder Thighs, which was actually the team of, I want to say that was Moktola and Black Labby. Yes, it was. Fourth place went to the team of Syncade and Doc. And fifth place, ladies and gentlemen, actually went to team with X Ventus and his partner here on with Slammerock. So that was the team that we saw actually sneaking a lot of kills, a lot of unnoticed damage, some things that went under the table, and they came out with fifth place. Team Nasty was in sixth place, and the rest of it falls below the table. But OSK, do you have any wrapping events or any wrap-up comments for today's event, rather?
Man, congratulations to everyone who came out today. It's been a great event. Also want to say, SK, very nice picking up the dub there, and by a pretty good margin as well. That's not. I mean, it's close, but it's not as close as it could have been. So that's very nice on the number of exiles there. I knew that they were sneaking in that high amount of exiles.
Yeah.
I knew it from game 2. You could see Darkbreakers just sneaking in. Oh, I have 5 exiles with 10 people left. It's fine. And Majin following up as well. Of course, congratulations to Untiered as well. The dominant duo that they are, they'll be going to the qualifiers. Thunder Thighs as well. And Dr. Cade, and especially Blaze It. Those are 2 brand new names. I've literally never heard of you 2 before, and you're coming out with 5th place. That's absolutely insane. So
Yeah, it's incredible actually. And when we were watching them, I do now thinking back on all the moments that we go over to X Ventus finishing off kills with the Fire Gauntlet. It was a sneak attack on the scoreboard up there. They played out of their minds to land in 5th place. And just for the record, 7th place should go to Marcus and Bastion LMAO, and 8th place, as far as we know, goes to Big Wiggly Boys, aka Spooks and No You're Bad. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all of your support. We really appreciate you guys coming through, showing support, enjoying the events, giving us feedback on anything we can do to improve. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. We're going to show you the donator page one more time so you can see the people who have supported us monetarily, and we really appreciate them, as well as appreciate the rest of you for being here. OSK, do you want to wrap it up for me? Drop any last words?
Absolutely. Especially thank you to all the donors here. You are the people that makes these prize pools possible. It's not all the funds ourselves for getting all these beautifully talented players to come out and actually have a prize for them. So thank you to all the donors. You're a huge help make the production possible. And also, if you're a new aspiring player, if you're looking to get better at the game, you're looking to improve, maybe you're a new player just wants a good community to be around, you can always just join the Discord, come out to scrims. It's a great environment. You're going to learn a lot of things and a lot of good strategies that'll help you stomp those pub games.
Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to mention right before we run is all subs, donations, and bits that go towards this channel directly go towards prize pools, 100% of it. So that's just a heads up. It's another way to support us and support the events themselves and give the funding needed to bring these banger events back and forth. But for now, we are ready to get out of here. So thank you very much. We're going to move out. Have an amazing day, everybody, and thank you again.